Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Hansin. If it's the first time you are watching a video of mine, thank you very much for clicking on the thumbnail, and let's see if I can add some value. Well, today I'm doing something different than just like a journey update and things like that. I've actually received a query from another member with regards to their performance and their success and their journey. And I offered to actually look at their data and then make some suggestions to them. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to, with their permission, of course, I've asked them already, if I can take their data and then actually show you and teach you that this system does really work. It just needs time. The leads needs to build up, and there's no real number towards it. You can't think 10,000 or 20,000 leads in the account is enough to actually make X amount of money. You need to make data-driven decisions, and that's what I'm going to teach you today, right? So if you don't know what my lead gen secret is, it's basically $1 a day lead generation system that either provides you 100 to 200 leads per day. And if you don't know how to get to the 200 leads, please go and watch my previous videos where I'll show you step by step how to get to 200, how to send the mails, where to get the mails to send, how does it work, all of that. But today what we are focusing on is how do we read the data so that we can make informed decisions, right? So that we don't go on impulse and go on feeling, and we don't get discouraged, but we actually make data-driven decisions, because in the long run, that is how you're going to make a lot more money. All right, so let's start with the backstory. A member has reached out a couple of times and I've given advice. And then lastly, what I did yesterday or the day before is actually ask for their CSV download within Clickbank, right? So that gives us all the hops, the initial order form impressions, the amount of money and initial sales, upsells, all of that sort of thing that they send it over. After that, I asked for a monthly breakdown. So December, from the 1st of December to the end of December, Jan the same, Feb, March, to see what is happening and is there reason to be discouraged. And as I thought, there isn't. They're on the right track. They are just losing touch because they're looking at other people, right? They're following at 2 or 3 journeys and they see people are making a little bit more money quicker than what they are making, and they're getting discouraged. So today my main message to you is let the data of your own accounts determine what you do, right? And then give it time. If you're going to do this journey, if you're going to go on my lead gen secret and you want to make money with it, give yourself at least 6 to 12 months, all right? So set aside that you're not going to make any money or return on investment for at least 6 months, all right? The break-even point should be normally month 4, month 5. Depending on how many accounts you have. This specific person has 10 accounts, right? So that's $300 a month that they need to make back. And I think that's where the pressure comes from, right? So my suggestion would be is to go with 5 accounts, $150 per month recurring. If you can't afford that, go at least a minimum of 2, which will give you $60 per month recurring, right? And as you grow and as you go into profit, every time that you reach the next level, take another account. But realize that with the smaller amount of accounts or the less accounts you have, it will take you longer to reach your main goal, right? So let's say your main goal is $2,000 per month. It's going to take you longer to achieve that, but you will still achieve it, right? Because you're going to scale as time goes by. Whereas if you start with 5 accounts immediately, yes, it's more money out of the pocket immediately, but you'll get to your target faster, because at month 6, you will have all 5 accounts almost at the same level in terms of leads, right? And it just starts making a lot more sense when you get to month 8, 9, 10, 12 and onwards. Then you really start benefiting from this service. Without further ado and my rambling on, I want to show you what I did for this specific member, right? So let me just quickly click on this. So what I basically did is I took her, yes, and it is a she, what I did is I just took her monthly income to show her, right? December, she only made $31. Jan, she made $150. Feb, $285. And she actually made a sale that was less than that, but she made $66 yesterday after me starting to talk with her. She actually made another $66. So she's currently on 404. What I've shown her is a growth percentage. So yes, it was a mass growth from December to Jan, 381%, but it's off of a small base, right? What we tend to see with the growth on this, if I look at all the journeys that I've been following and all the discussions that I've had with a couple of people, is that it sort of plateaus around a certain point and then you get growth further on as well. So yes, you have 381% from month 1 to month 2, then a 90, then a 42, but look at the amount that it's actually going at, right? So it's still big jumps. And for the first month, out of the first 4 months that they've been part of the Mileage in Secret, she's in profit, right? And what we anticipate then is that each month after this, even if she stays at the same limit, she's bringing down her overall loss down by 100 Rand per month. So by month 7, month 8, she actually starts breaking even if she just continues on the same level, not increasing the sales or anything, right? So that is substantial, because a normal brick and mortar business doesn't make any profit within the first year, right? That's a rule of thumb that's out there. So if you start a business, a shop and a store, a service or so, you look at least 12 months where you're not making profit at all. Here already month 4, $104 profit, which is quite good. So let's go and look at the stats specifically. And the things that I look for is this, right? So she focused on 4 offers initially, and you can see the amount of clicks, right? Or hops as they are called in Clickbank. There's quite a lot of hops. But the big thing for me is that follow what other people are saying, right? If you follow my journey, if you follow someone else's journey and they say to you that this offer is currently working, use that offer. Don't try and test anything else and focus on it. So the 2 that you can see here, and these are the same 2 that everyone is talking about, is social paid and Right App reviews on the Clickbank platform, right? So this ClickWell system I've also used. I've made $4, I think, out of it, right? I didn't send a lot of clicks. I only sent like 1,000, but it's just not worth it because the front end or initial sales isn't worth it. I made like $4, and then if the person doesn't take an upsell, you're really not making money. Whereas with social paid and Right App reviews, I think the minimum is like $13 or $12 out of these ones, right? So you can quickly scale up. Another thing that I want to show you is between the different journeys, and this is what you also need to realize, is there's 21 front-end sales or initial sales on Right App reviews, but only 8 upsells, right? So that makes a difference as well. If you have a higher upsell rate than other members, you are making more money on the back end. That is just how it is. So we've got no control over that. All right, we have no control over if a member is going to buy a initial or a front end product and then also buy the back end products as well. All right, but what we can see here is that the ratio is relatively the same between the 2 products, actually slightly better with Right App reviews, right? So the data is telling me that she should continue with Right App reviews until it doesn't make sense. And I'll tell you where it doesn't make sense, right? So when I look at this, she needs about 5,000 clicks or hops for her to actually make a sale, right? On Right App reviews, she needs about 3,100 clicks to make a sale. Okay, so that is just how it is. The other thing that you can look at is the initial order form impression versus sales. So this is at 6%, this is at 22% conversion. So the data is saying focus on Right App reviews. That is where your money is currently at. And I say currently because you need to keep on looking at the data. Let me show you what I mean by that. When I go December, you can see this is why this specific person hasn't made the money as some of the others as well. And I've learned from this as well because I've been testing and playing around, and I wasn't so eager to make profit as some of the other people are because I wanted to make sure for myself, right? But what I can see here is in month 1, there was clicks between these two products. She did get sales on social paid. So let's see what went. So the data says social paid is the one to promote, right? What happened in January? 10,000, 13,000, 10,000. So it's basically a split between 3 products, all right? What does this month tell us? I would can Click Wealth, and I would only focus on social paid and write apps. And even in Jan already, the data said here that the ratio for write app reviews is better because there was 10,000 hops or clicks. Every 1,700, almost 1,800 clicks, you're making a sale, and you've made 6 initial sales. So what maybe deterred her was that she wasn't making upsells, right? So that we've got no control over. What was interesting is that on the social paid, it was only 1 sale, but it had an upsell as well. So nearly with 1 sale, initial sale, she was making more, or more than half of what she made with 6 sales from write app reviews. But for me, this should have said continue with write app reviews and stop all other promotions. In Feb, she basically split the traffic, I want to say 2/3 to 1/3 almost. All right, so I know it's not the correct breakdown, but that's more or less where it is. This data shows us again what we saw in Jan, is that write app reviews is outperforming social paid. So every 2,500, and yes, it went up. You see from 1,770 to 2,505, but your sales amounts are also a lot more. What happened here is that there was a couple of upsells, and look what difference that makes, right? So the 3 upsells is worth more than the 8 sales that was generated for a total of 250. So I would have not sent 12,000, almost 13,000 clicks to social paid because it would have meant a lot more in the write app reviews. And then March, currently where she's at, like I said, this data is up to yesterday, right? So she did make another sale today. So this is even higher, add another $66 towards it, right? Now you see that the decisions are correct. And that's why you see that shift in March in terms of the profitability. 38,000 clicks. Yes, your hops per order went up, right? So that is what we see. 1,770, 2,505, 4,789. But I can almost promise you, if she split this traffic, the end result of the sales amount total would have been less as well. What is nice to see here is that there are 8 initial sales and 7 upsells, right? So that makes a huge difference. And that's the difference between a Jan result where there was 0 upsells and a March result. That's the only thing. But like I said, we've got 0 control over that. This brings me back to say that we could have been in profit in this scenario if we stuck from Jan, when we started looking at the data with write apps review, 85% of the time. The total picture would have changed. And a lot of you guys are following the journeys by 2 people, right? Mike and Christian. And I think what they are doing successfully is they're sticking to 2 products mainly, and they're rotating between the 2. But for me, it's not just rotating between the 2. It's actually looking at the data and making a decision when to switch and is it necessary to switch, right? Because people think they can make more money off of other offers. But for me, if you're doing mileage and secret, you need to only promote those 2. And I would start with write app reviews. I think across the board in the last month or 2 months, write app reviews is outperforming rand or dollar value towards social paid. All right. My name is Hansi. I've done a full analysis for you. If you need help, please leave a comment in the section. I will do the same for you and I'll give you some advice. If you want to start this journey, there's also a link below that you can start with mileage and secret, right? Use my affiliate link for the first one. I'll offer you a lot of value. And then if you need any help, I'm there for you, right? But from the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th to the 10th, or how many ever accounts you need, you're going to follow what I teach in the videos. If you want me to go through a step-by-step again of how to set up, I will start doing that more frequently as well. Goodbye. Thank you.